My dear seekers, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege and pleasure for me to connect with you again, continuing the topic of what is meant by the term karma. We have seen in the part 1 of this episode some basic aspects of what is meant by karma for the real spiritual aspirants who are inclined to get into the science of spirituality like any scientist would investigate in their own branch of science. We have seen that all creations have been incorporated with a built-in memory in order to make this whole cosmos to function in an autonomous manner. Although we say that the objects are classified into living and non-living categories, but we find the sign of memory or intelligence incorporated in every creation. We have seen some examples of two chemicals added together in an acid produces a particular kind of a gas. Irrespective of which location in this planet we combine them, the result is the same. So it shows that any physicality can function only with a built-in memory. In the modern times, it's very easy to appreciate this concept because that when we create any gadget, an IT engineer incorporates a built-in program which essentially sits inside and orchestrates its functions. In the same way, the creator is the best software engineer who has incorporated certain built-in memory as the operating system in every object that has been created. So moving forward, let us take this subject of karma to the next level of understanding. Before that, I would like to share a thought with you that why, when we are getting into the subject of spirituality, we need to become a scientist in order to investigate, like a physicist or a chemical engineer would investigate their own respective branch of science. In a simplistic manner, if you were to consider spirituality is another branch of science for which there is no specific person claims to be an author. Once Chinmayananda was asked that who is the founder of Vedic wisdom, he said, when you ask a question, who is the founder of physics or chemistry or oceanography, you will not get an answer because different people experienced their branch of science in their own way, and then they have added their knowledge to the entire repository of a particular branch of science. In the same way, Vedic wisdom is nothing but an amalgamation of many people's personal experience combined into certain branch of science which we call it as spirituality. So unless otherwise you consider spirituality as a branch of science, you may not really take much interest to understand it because it is another form of inquiry. Every branch of science is an inquiry. Trying to understand the physical world has become subject of physics. Understanding the chemical reactions of any matter, that became the branch of chemistry, and so on. In the same way, trying to understand the basic functionality of this whole cosmos by moving inward has become the science of spirituality. So it is extremely important to understand some of the basic concepts and vocabulary so that one can really get into the science of spirituality and develop their own well-being both physically as well as in their own professional career. So moving forward, the concept of karma, we have seen that It is essentially all matters are incorporated with a built-in memory, and hence that memory is trying to orchestrate the functionality of that particular object. Extending this further, coming to the human being as a most evolved species in this planet, let us look into the concept of karma a little more in detail. Human beings are the extension of the creation in the 13.8 billion years of evolution of this cosmos came from a big bang. So that means human beings cannot be an exception from the basic concept of an object or a system incorporated with a memory. So we have a little more complex system of memory as compared to probably a mineral which essentially manifests certain kind of expression in its own physical world. When human beings have been created, they have been incorporated with certain complex system of memory which essentially is driving their functionality and behavior. So in the simplest sense of understanding what is karma is nothing but the memory that has been built in the human species right from the inception of their presence in this planet. So one may probably showing a little bit of curiosity that this memory came from where and what is its functionality and implication. I think that this requires a little bit of deep diving into the subject of karma, which we will try to investigate in many parts of this episode. So in this episode, I would like to confirm with you that we have all understood karma is nothing but a built-in memory that really decides the operating system of a particular creation. So in the case of human being, it has become a much more complex system that is really orchestrating the human behavior. So the next question that will be coming in your mind is to know what is the difference of the memory that is created in the human beings as compared to a simple mineral or a kind of animal which works only on instinct. So that may be the logical question we need to answer. And who wrote this memory? And what are the types of memory that are residing in the human form? And whether they have been incorporated by someone else or the program is written by ourselves is an important question to answer. In the coming episode, we will take one type of memory after the other in the human creation and try to understand their origin and their functions, so that at the end of these episodes, we are very clear the concept of karma that really orchestrates our life. Eventually, when we understand all these basic aspects of karma, we will come to a conclusion that we are the creator of our own destiny. This is the most complex kind of acceptance for human beings who generally think that whatever good or bad happening in their life, the external factors and their fate is responsible. When we conclude the concept of karma, you will have entirely a new paradigm which will eventually clarify that we are the creator of our own destiny. Till we get into the deeper aspects of karma, I would request you to stay with whatever concepts that we have discussed so far and then ponder over them again and again several times, and then get ready for accepting much more complex ideas about the philosophy of karma. I appreciate your patronage and interest to travel along with me in the journey of spiritual science, and I am sure that at the end of these sessions you will definitely get a newer awakening and then make your life a wonderful journey. Thank you very much. Look forward to speak to you in more and more detailed aspects of spiritual science. May God bless you and your family with a wonderful health, peace and prosperity. Let peace prevail. God bless you.